So to start, here is my office space. So this has both my desk and my boyfriend's desk in it where he does gaming. But if we start by going around to the left, as you can see I've got my details on the right over here. But on the left I have this enamel pin banner which has my Arknights pins on it. So these top three and this one was from the 1.5 anniversary, and then these three were from the Tmall store on Taobao. And as I come around, so this is my desk area. So this is a relatively new desk. I used to have a black one, and I'll put a picture up of what it used to kind of look like in this area. So I just pull my chair out. I do have this cute paw pad on here. I have Lilac Cool, 2B, and Kiana across the top. Kiana doesn't actually fit in a Dettol, so she's up here for now, and my Pokemon calendar. And I also have these two wall scrolls. The first one is from Pionsuke, and the second one is Sakiyamana. They did come up for re-release on AmiAmi, but they seem to have gone now. And then I also have this one of Mudrock, which is also from the Arknights Tmall store. I have this print from Brown Rabbits, and I will put like links to all the artists that I mention in this video as well. And Gaur Gura from Rosuri Art. As I swing around, we have three of my Pokemon resins. So Jigglypuff, Snorlax, and Gengar. And then Blueberry Pie's art card, which is really cute. It has this really cute bunny. So as I come down to the right hand side, we have my new Ram bunny. Rem will go on the right hand side in the picture and Amelia will move. I also have the Amiya Rebos figure just chilling on the desk as well, along with my manga that I'm currently reading. As I swing to the left, we have a bit of an Ask art shrine. So these 4 postcards came in a set. I do have the others like tucked away in this drawer down here. But yeah, and these 4 acrylic stands were also from Ask. And then I have Stitch and Miku just chilling out. I have Hayasaka Ai as my background picture. And I also have this setup, so my work computer laptop is at the bottom, and my personal one with Arknights stickers on it, if I pull it out slightly, is here. So these are really cute. These are also from Brown Rabbits. But I do have it plugged in, so I can click a switcher and switch between the two. And I also have, I butchered this a little bit, so I had to order a new one, but essentially it was just too big for the space I have, so when I get the new one I will cut it more properly to size, and thankfully it doesn't look like it's fraying. I also have like this Rem mouse mat that I got way back when I first started watching ReZero, and then my mechanical keyboard. It's taken some getting used to because all the numbers are just pictures, and then the escape key is also a really cute picture. So yeah, that's my desk area. I am looking to try and fit something in this space here, because inside this it's just like my keyboard stuff and boxes. I keep all my prints and nail stuff in here, and then this is just like random D&D and sticker stuff. Then as I swing around I have my Nendoroids. So we've got my Arknight ones at the back. Exu, Mostima, Aya, Texas and Lapland. I have Milim chilling with the Eurocamp girls, some Hololive CDs, and then Hololive prints. So these ones are the ones by Blueberry Pie. They came in a set, you could get them I think. Then we've also got these like little sleeping buddies from MiHoYo from Honkai Impact, an acrylic stand of Miltrilus, and then I also got this doctor like workers badge I guess. That came with the art book. So if I go down a little bit, this is where I have my Sword Art Online Collector's Edition and some of my art books. Highly recommend the Evangelion one if you can get hold of it. Bai did have a link to the Eva store where they sell it. I also have like the Koro Bunny book and some other ones that are really good. And then I have like the ReZero ones and the Arknights art book down here as well. So yeah, as I come across, I also have this aqua towel that I just hang over the Billy Bookcase door, and a wall scroll of Aqua Megamine that I got from the East Stream store. I also just wanted to pop this in here, this Nya Halo card capture squirrel bag, which I pre-ordered, is so cute. So as I swing round to the right, this is my boyfriend's area, so we'll skip over that. And then the corner is just like beanbags and his old thing. But if I move this out of the way, we can finally get to my details. So I'm going to open the doors just to make it a bit easier to see. This top space is empty, as that is waiting for the Amelia crystal dress. Whew. Then as I come down, we have Yae Sakura, looking very beautiful in the back. The Maithos Miku, and the Arabian version of Arise Kojikawa. I actually broke this one a little bit, so unfortunately, like, she's got some like blemishes and chips and God knows what else, because I tried using an easel stand but she just fell over. So, but this is Kagura from Omnioji, then Shutendoji is on this side. So I really like the composition of this. I'm not sure if I'm going to be changing that anytime soon. Coming down, we have the Saber Alta kimono version, looking stunning as ever. The Maid Rider version at the front, and then we have Rita Rotzweiss from MiHoYo Honkai Impact. She's probably not going to stay forever, because I intend to put Hokusai here whenever she releases. Hopefully she'll fit with the others. And as I come down, we have my Danganronpa shelf plus Akeno. So at the back we have Kirigiri, and then Shuichi and Kokichi. Akeno taking center stage despite not being from it. I also have this Miku on this shelf, but I have severely broken her, like the thing came off. She didn't have this part on to begin with. It's just been a disaster. And then we have Chiaki chilling at the back. And then the bottom shelf is my Pokemon shelf. Ponyta is too heavy to go anywhere else, so it's chilling at the back. I kind of wish that this piece here didn't come up so high because it blocks the view. At the back we've got the water Pokemon, and then the evolutions and Marnie taking center stage with the ghost Pokemon there. So in the middle, I have a different kind of setup because I couldn't fit a Detolf in here as well, because this bench is only 120 centimeters wide, and I do put figure boxes underneath, as you can see. So the bottom bit here, it was tall enough to fit Nendoroids in, and I do have these Nendoroid bunnies, so I figured they'd be a good place for it. And I do have some kind of like rose lights in the background that can be turned on. Coming up is my bunny shelf. So I have Kaguya and Chika at the back with these two cute keychains from Brown Rabbits. And then Kirigiri, Chiaki and Chris in the middle. And it kind of looks like they're telling each other secrets. It makes me laugh a little bit. Then as we come up, we have Aqua taking center stage with her little shrine. So we have her Sneaker Bunko version, some acrylic stands, her Nendoroid with the bunny outfit, the pop-up parade, and then the bunny version in the middle. Sorry that you're going to see a bit of my reflection here, but I can't do much about that. And then I did put this one back in the Mythos box because Mythos do quite nice boxes to use as a display. But this one is one of my favourites. It's absolutely beautiful. You can see she gets her own little spot. So, coming across to the right detail, let's open this up. So at the top we have the Demon Oni Rem crystal dress version, along with the Beatrice and Echidna Nendoroids. This is an absolutely gorgeous figure. I absolutely love it. Like, she gets to take top center stage. That's why Amelia is going to be on the other side. And the Nendoroids are also very, very cute. So coming down, we have some figures I haven't actually featured yet, which is this Yun and Megumin from Kadokawa. I think they did a really good job on these, but I will go into more detail in a video that will come soon, hopefully. I also have this Echidna prize figure, which is actually really well done. There's only some very small flaws. And then the Kurumi Chinese dress. I do love that there's like a theme going through here where there's a lot of red in it. And we also have the Lion Dance Miku Nendoroid, which is so adorable. Now moving down, we have my Fate shelf, where I have Abigail Williams by Amakuni. Another one I just got in recently, which is the Sakura Dark Holy Grail version by Aniplex, which matches this Salter by Aniplex. And then Musashi is chilling in the back with her casual wear. So yeah, I really love this shelf. Musashi is a little bit hidden, but I can't do too much about that, given, if you hadn't noticed, I have customized these to have 5 shelves because I don't have space for another Detolf. At least I haven't convinced my boyfriend to let me get one. So this next shelf is kind of a cozier shelf plus Chica. So we've got the Misaka Gekoto version from Kotobukiya, the Sky Tube Siberia Girl at the back, holding onto my aqua keychain, Stella taking center stage as she should, being gorgeous, and then Chica. It looks like she's kind of pointing to Stella's butt, which is kind of funny. It does make me laugh a little bit. And then at the bottom we have my Arknights shelf. I did make a custom base for Blaze, made out of wood and just painted it, and some steel rods were drilled in. But I do love the way that they fit together. I have no idea where I'm going to put Serta when she comes out, but yeah. So any figures I haven't mentioned have either been sold or are in the process of me trying to sell them, either or. But I do have my enamel pins in here on the right, on this rainbow banner. So these ones, I'll put the artist in the description below, but quite a lot of these are by Glitterpunk Jewellery in the UK, but there are a couple of others. And then I've also got some like D&D ones, and these two were a gift from a friend. So this one was from Ami Ami, and then this is again Glitterpunk Jewellery at the bottom. So this is kind of cool. It's like it's from Tori PNG. I'll put the artist who made this banner in as well. I also have this Arknights wall scroll that I got from the 1.5 anniversary. I really love Nyan and Dusk, which is precisely why I ordered this. It's quite expensive, but it's really nice thick material. Like you can hear, if I come in a little bit, it's quite thick material. So yeah, there is actually probably less than people realise, because I have had this habit of going around and selling things, but it's also a very small room. Like, like I can turn around and everything still feels zoomed in because of the small living space we have. I'm very aware we could probably fit another thing here, but the problem is we walk into this space to actually get in and out the room. So I'm a little bit stuck for now. Hopefully one day we'll be able to move into a bigger house. Okay, so if you're interested, I'll go into the manga, plushies and board games next. Okay, so my manga is actually in the living room. We have this double spread of bookcases going across. On the left, well, the right bookcase, but on the left hand side I have the ReZero light novel volumes up to 14. I have Chainsaw Man, all the English release ones, which I have actually read up to now. You saw that I had 1 and 2 of my Dress Up Darling on my desk. These will go in there when I'm ready to read them. Kaguya-sama Love is War. I actually have read up to 13, but as you can see I'm missing 14, 15 and then 17, so I'm trying to get hold of those. I have the Laid Back Camp ones up to volume 10. Then as I come down, the Horimiya art book along with volume 1. I have Imperfect Girl 1, 2 and 3. This was kind of a weird, interesting series. It's by, how do I pronounce the name? Nishio-sen, the person who did Monogatari and those, which I do actually have the first book of here that I haven't started yet. I have 1 to 5 of Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles. I wish I'd collected more of these back when they were coming out, because it's been years now. I'm also missing volumes 11 and 12 of Gravitation. These were really old books at this point. I think I've had them 10 to 12, maybe even 15 years. The same with the Yu-Gi-Oh ones. And then I have the Jujutsu Kaisen set up to 14 with the rest on pre-order. I've only read volume 0 so far, partly because I read Chainsaw Man first. I am reading My Dress Up Darling now, but I'll probably get to this one next. Along with a book of travel things for Japan and the Great British Bucket List. Now down here I do have the Quintessential Quintuplets Volume 1, box set 1, which has some really cute art on it, if I just turn that around. I did order this from Amazon and it came from the US store. And then I have the Demon Slayer box set, which I read over Christmas. I am so excited for the next arc because it has some of my favourite characters. I also have a few books here as well. I have the Honkai Impact 3 books and also Colourful Dreams by Rofan, which is a really nice art book. And then a couple in Japanese and Chinese. I ended up buying this. I was mad on Haikyuu at one point. Iva Josai was like my favourite team, so I bought this. Obviously cannot read it. I can't speak or read Japanese, so it's just there. And these are 3 that I had when I was living in China. Then coming across to the left-hand side, I just have 1 row on this shelf. I have the Cardcaptor Sakura by Dark Horse manga, book 1, which is very old. Dogs, Bullets and Carnage. If you like Chainsaw Man, I recommend this book, this manga series. I haven't finished it, I need to get the rest of them, but it has the same kind of gritty art style and quite gory, confusing plot. So, really recommend that. I have volume 1 of Burn the Witch. I also have this MiHoYo manga that came out. Beyblade, which I am so sad they cancelled the English translation of. I used to love Beyblade. This is very old as well. Then I have the 3 first omnibuses of Fullmetal Alchemist. 3 light novels here of Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, Konosuba and Goblin Slayer. And then these Tokyo Pop Fruits Basket Ultimate Editions that came out years ago. I bought these as they came out as well. And again, I was super sad when they didn't release them all. I actually don't know when this volume 6 finishes. So if anyone who has read Fruits Basket can let me know where I can continue buying the manga from, that would be amazing. Yeah, so relatively small manga collection, all things considered, but I do plan on buying more in the future. So my plushie and board game collection are actually in my original shelves that I had for my figures. I'll post pictures up on the screen most likely of my journey collecting, but essentially I have quite a few Disney ones. So I've got Pascal from Tangled, I've got the penguin from Penguin Logistics from Arknights, the stingray and an elephant. This was a Christmas gift. Then I have Vanilla and Chocolate from Nekopara, which are really cute. I also have this leopard. Most of these I buy from zoos or aquariums. So the stingray was from an aquarium in, I want to say, Shanghai. This one was from Spain, I think. I can't actually remember about the leopard. This one was also from Shanghai. Then this dinosaur was from a dinosaur park in Romania. My little dragon is from Wales. This my mum made me when I moved in with my boyfriend. It's got like a little bag and she gave me a message saying let me move in with you, which is really cute. We have Hey like peering over from the back, and then this goat that I got on a trip to Ezu in Germany where I was visiting my friend. So I do plan on getting some Pokemon ones, as we have a Pokemon Center online shop in the UK now. I've ordered Sylveon and Clefairy, so they'll be going up here as well. I'm really excited for those. Now, our board game collection is steadily growing. Either myself or my boyfriend tend to ask for board games for our birthdays or Christmas, because we play quite a lot of them. So on this top shelf, we have New York Zoo, which is a really cute game where you try and build up a zoo by collecting pieces, collecting little animal meeples, putting them on your board, and then when you go around the board, they, if you have two of the same, they'll breed and you get more. It's just really cute fun. We also have Bananagrams, which is like a fast-paced game of Scrabble. King Domino, I highly recommend. I love this game. You essentially build your kingdom using domino pieces that are picture dominoes. If it's got a picture on the back, yeah. You essentially get to choose them between you. It's a 2 to 4 player game, but there is an extension to make it 5 players, which is this Age of Giants one. Shit happens. I think this is a very American game because some of the things in it just the way that it's phrased is just very American, I think. But essentially you have some things that happen and you have to kind of line them up. It's kind of funny. A Game of Thrones was like one he got for a Secret Santa. We've never even played it. Cartographers is good fun, with like you build maps and you have to draw based on what cards come up. Caper is a 2-player game where you essentially go on heists and try to win out your component. Patchwork Express is another 2-player game. You essentially try and fill in your patchwork based on the tiles that come up. Splendor is a 2 to 4 player game as well, but you can get expansions to play it differently. You essentially do trades and buy different gem things to try and gain favour. I'm running over these quickly, so if anyone actually wants me to go in more detail, please leave a message in the comments. P for Pizza is a really quick game where you'll get something that you have to think of. So what is P? What is an Italian food that begins with P? Quickly say it. Playing cards, quiz, and then we've also got Boggle, where you essentially click down and shake it and you have to make words out of the letters. Jaipur is a 2-player trading game. So you essentially have things like camels. You can have the person with the most camels get so many points, and then there's different gems you can trade for things. Odin's Ravens is another 2-player game where you send your ravens off to try and go around the board and back. It is a race game, so you try and get there before the other player. This is useless unless you've read the Marvel comics. I think I bought it thinking that it would be based on the movies, and I messed up, so it's really hard to do. Cobra Paw is a 2-player speed game, so you'll have all these different dice, and if the 2 dice come up, you've got to find the domino before the other player and snatch it. Chrononauts is actually we'll do Love Letter first. Love Letter is a game where you have to deceive, well, you don't deceive really. You have to try and guess what the other player is playing as, and there's things like a guard, princess, as you're trying to gain the princess's favour, and a bunch of other characters, like even the king's in there. It's quite interesting. We also have Chrononauts, which is kind of like a game that's based on time travel, but you can change time and try and get to the timeline that your person needs. It's 1 to 6 players. Skull's a bit like Pirate's Dice, so you'll have 1 skull and 3 flowers in your pack, and essentially you want to try and bluff your way through and guess how many flowers are on the table. But if you pull a skull, you lose, and you lose one of your cards. Sushi Go Party is a great party game because you can do like 2 to 8 players. It's quite a big game. You essentially want to build these like little meal sets and get points. We do have 2 versions of Citadels. So this one is the new one that has more of an expansion to it. There's more cards. It's a bit more balanced, I think. Essentially you try and build a city with like taverns, gate posts and God knows what else before the other players. Astronauts, you try and travel through space and get back in time and gain points before the other players. Bristol 1350 was a game I got on a Kickstarter, but it's by Facade Games and they do still sell these. They're quite good price, and if I go in here, they're actually like really compact. So essentially it's a deception game. You can catch the plague, and if you get the plague you've essentially lost unless everyone else gets the plague, which getting this during COVID was hilarious. Just because it was just so on the nose. But it's good fun. You can play this up to 9 players, so it is a good like family party game. And then Celestia is a game where you go kind of world hopping to get some treasures, and that is 2 to 6 players. So I think out of all of these games, my favourite would be New York Zoo and King Domino. But depending on the mood, some of these are really good. Yeah, it really depends on what kind of thing you want to be doing. Love Letter is really quick, so we play this a lot when we're waiting for dinner to cook. Same with things like Skull. If you've got quite a few people, it works quite well. But yeah, so for a really long game, if you're in for the long haul, we also got Lords of Waterdeep, which is a D&D based game. Sorry, I'll just move this. These are my boyfriends that he's had for years, along with this little pyramid my mum got me when she went to Egypt. But yeah, it's a really, really complex game. The box is massive. But it's really good fun. It did take us a couple of hours, and it is 2 to 5 players. So if you like more complicated games, those are pretty good. I have DM'd before, so I also have quite a lot of the Dungeons and Dragons books. I have run a campaign from Ghosts of Saltmarsh, which is why I have this one. But I also did do the starter set one as well, along with these 2 spellbook card things, which aren't actually very useful, it turns out. But yeah, so if you do want me to go into more detail about different board games and give examples, let me know. But yeah, I have quite a few. There will be more coming soon, probably. I have a few on my birthday list that's coming soon. But yeah. Okay, so this is where I first had my collection at, where I was using this brown wood cabinet. I had like the Pokemon one, the Miku prize figures and such to start with. Darkness was my first bunny that I received, and then I got Yoko, and I got the Buy Cute bunnies because they were a little bit more affordable. Bakemonogatari was one of the first animes that I remembered watching, so it was one of the ones I went for, and I really started to get into Honkai Impact because of Yai Sakura. Because I was into Fate, I wanted the racing set and picked up the Saber racing set. I picked up the pre-order for the Saber Alter Kimono, and then grabbed the Alter version of Saber in a kimono from the pre-owned section on Amiami. I had Merlin at one point, but his box was absolutely massive and I couldn't bring myself to keep him. I also picked up Panty off the pre-owned section because it was the same kind of thing. At this point I hadn't really got back into anime, so I was just going based on nostalgia series, which was probably not the right thing to do. For my birthday, I actually received some money from my parents, and I put that towards getting myself 2 Detolfs and a bench. Obviously, it wasn't the full amount. I contributed my wages to part of that. And that's where I first started filling up my cabinets. From the beginning, I did actually have to customize my shelves because I didn't have enough space. So I got the 2 acrylic shelves quite early on, and I also asked for a custom build for the aqua shrine I have in the middle. The Honkai Impact ones are still there, but I'd also started collecting Arknights soon afterwards, and it was hard to fit things in and get things actually in place, especially since Blazer's base is absolutely massive. Like, I've definitely improved how that one looks now because it's just too big. And I did a lot of playing around with different shelves and trying to work out which figures look good together. I think it takes a long time to really work out what you want with your collection in that kind of way. And then finally we've kind of like stepped towards where I've started to collect more bunny figures that I feel comfortable with. I don't have the Jabril one anymore. She took up quite a lot of space. Even though she was quite short and I could have like 2 bigger shelves, it just felt like too much. I actually sold the Racing Miku because she was the remainder from when I had the Fate ones, and I cancelled all the Fate Racing figures. So it just looked odd. And yeah, it's kind of a shame, but at the end of the day, I don't have the space to be as open with what I wanted as before. And then finally we have where I've added lights, finally, after about a year. I got these March 2021 and it's now February 2022 where I finally installed lights on this. And I have used the space that I reserved for Amelia quite a bit. Like, I have to do that to shuffle things around occasionally. But I think I'm starting to get to a point now where I'm becoming actually happy with the way I've got things set up. Where I go forward from here, we'll see. Though I am getting to a point with where I am now with my figures that I really don't want to start selling any of these. These I absolutely all love. And it's going to get very difficult. I am considering seeing if I can convince my boyfriend to let me get one of the Bagabao display cabinets for this area here. But it's going to be difficult. I mean, if he actually managed to get rid of his old computer here, something could go down there. But it's convincing him that I'm not going overboard. The whole reason I started collecting figures instead is because I used to be a bit of a gacha addict. I started playing FGO, I want to say in 2018, and I spent a lot in the summer of 2020, which is when I started looking into a different avenue to express my love for this game. I don't have quite as many Fate figures as I used to. I sold the racing set and some others, not because I didn't love them, but because I found that there were other series I love more. Like, for example, Konosuba and Kaguya-sama and Danganronpa are 3 of my favourites. Plus, I started like Arknights, which I did end up stop collecting quite as many. I cancelled Ifrit for Marine from Hololive. And now I'm thinking, oh, I have Eva figures, Evangelion figures coming at some point. Where am I going to put those? I do have 2 shelves for Chinese dress figures. So yeah, it's going to continue to change over time, but I wanted to give kind of an update because my collection has changed quite a lot over the year and a half that I've been collecting. There are many figures from my first few months. I think actually the Gengar down here is the only one from my first original box that I kept. I have started implementing a 2-week rule to stop myself just impulse buying. For example, one hobby happened 2 weeks ago. I waited 2 weeks, and Minato Aqua's Ponson and Scalebug at the Smile Company came up for pre-order today. I was so excited for that figure. I was checking her every day and thinking about it. That's the kind of response I want to a figure. So going forward, hopefully I'll be a bit stricter with myself as well. But yeah, hopefully this video was enjoyable and not too long. And hopefully one day in the future I'll have saved enough for a house to have a room like this to myself so I can have more details, because I would love to have 4, but it's getting my boyfriend to get on board with that and think, oh gosh, there's so much stuff. If you think of it in like how Feng Shui likes very minimalism, that's what my boyfriend's like, so we're very chalk and cheese, and he struggles with how much stuff I buy sometimes. Not for the financial side, we're fine financially, but just because of how much space it takes up. But yeah, hopefully this was enjoyable and thank you for watching. Hopefully it gave you a better impression of what I have in my figure collection now, because I know that it's quite chaotic and how I kind of cycle through things. But yeah, thanks again and I hope you have a good day.